goodness, enjoyed by the whole family. Indomie. Tastes great.
Parakeet AI is an AI online call assistant that gives you the answer to every question on your online call, such as
we're still together, still going strong. Still the one I ran to, the one that I belong to. It's still the one I want for life. It's still the one that I love, the only one I dream about. Still the one I kiss goodnight. Still the one.
Band Parade, we're very grateful to you for keeping us musical company this evening, and you have done that flawlessly. Ladies and gentlemen, for as many of you as do not have cutlery in your hands at this time, let's show appreciation to Band Parade. They've done an amazing musical job so far.
The time is here, finally. It's time for us to do the needful. I know we are, as our council say, belly full. We are full, and so it's time for us to honor. And for the very first batch of honorees, we have the Institutional Award, and this is supported by Press Freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first award, we will welcome Mr. Matthew Asada, who is the Press Attaché for U.S. Embassy, to help us with this.
Please welcome him with applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very first award goes to Graphic Communications Group Limited.
Congratulations to Graphic Communications Group Limited. And the citation reads, for more than 7 decades, this distinguished media institution has stood as one of the most influential pillars of journalism and public information in Ghana. Through generations of journalists, editors, and media professionals, the group has consistently upheld values of credibility, professionalism, and public service that define responsible journalism. Shall we do a big round of applause as we congratulate the Graphic Communications Group, who this evening are being honored by the Ghana Journalists Association for the outstanding contribution to journalism, press freedom, and media development with this special citation on this special evening as we commemorate World Press Freedom. Shall we congratulate Graphic Communications Group one more time?
Congratulations, Graphic Communications Group Limited. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew Asada. We are grateful. To help us present the next set of awards, let's welcome Mr. Human Nuruzi. He is the political counselor for British High Commission.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the citation for the next award reads, for decades, this celebrated publication has stood as a respected voice of conscience, truth, and social responsibility within Ghana's media landscape. Guided by the principles of ethical journalism, moral leadership, it has consistently championed justice, peace, human dignity, and national development. As one of Ghana's longest-serving faith-based newspapers, it has demonstrated that journalism can simultaneously inform and inspire as well as uphold the highest standards of integrity. And this lasting legacy is one that has left a lasting impression on the populace of Ghana. Tonight, the GJA confers this special honor on the Catholic Standard for this special institutional award. Shall we congratulate them with a big round of applause?
Congratulations, the Catholic Standard. Let's do it better for them, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. A big congratulations to you, the Catholic Standard, and a very big thank you to you, Mr. Human Nuruzi, who's a political counselor for British High Commission. To help us present the next award, let's welcome Mr. Edmond Mukala in Gomo. I hope I got your name right. He is the UNESCO representative right here in Ghana. Let's welcome him with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Edmond Mukala in Gwemo will be presenting this award to an institution in recognition of the outstanding contribution to public education, media development, and national growth with this special citation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me with a big round of applause as we welcome the Bank of Ghana.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Bank of Ghana.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course few institutions have contributed as significantly to Ghana's stability, economic confidence and national development as this distinguished public institution, the Bank of Ghana. Through the decades of dedicated service, it has upheld the highest standards to Ghana's transparency, accountability and public trust, helping to strengthen confidence in Ghana's economic confidence. Tonight, through the decades of dedicated service, a special honor on the Bank of Ghana to Ghana's transparency, accountability and public trust development, helping to strengthen confidence in Ghana's economic confidence. Tonight, through the decades of dedicated service, a special honor on the Bank of Ghana to Ghana's transparency, accountability and public trust development, confidence in Ghana's economic confidence. Tonight, through the decades of dedicated service, a special honor on the Bank of Ghana to Ghana's transparency, accountability and
Congratulations, Bank of Ghana. Very well deserved. Very big thank you to you, Mr. Kala Ikwem. Let's welcome Professor Ifya Brichu, who is the President Chairperson for NFP, to help us present to you the award. Kala.
And so the chairperson of the National Media Commission of Ghana will be presenting this special award, and the citation reads, for generations the story of this institution has been told, preserved and shared through the work of this remarkable national institution. Long before the age of instant news and digital platforms, it established itself as the steady heartbeat of credible information, carrying reports of triumph and transition, progress and challenge from the center of power to the most distant communities. In moments when clarity mattered most, it remained the trusted source upon which the nation's media institutions built their daily narratives. Tonight, the Ghana Journalists Association salutes the Ghananews Agency as part of its special institutional awards tonight.
A big congratulations to Ghananews Agency.
And of course, their boss, Mr. Albert Kofi Owusu, my former boss, will step up to take this award. Shall we do a big round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen?
My name is Julia. I'm the CEO of Hello Prenup and Massachusetts Family Law Attorney. Hello Prenup is the first digital platform that allows couples to create a prenup in hours instead of months, and for a fraction of the cost of traditional methods. I started Hello Prenup because I was working at a law firm and I was talking to potential prenup clients. And there were
Congratulations, Ghananews Agency. Very well deserved. And thank you so much, Prof, for doing this for us. We're grateful. To help us present the next award, let's welcome the Vice President for GJA, Rebecca Epe. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause as she mounts the podium.
Thank you. The citation for the next award reads, this institutional award is presented in recognition of the outstanding contribution that this institution has made to press freedom. And of course, excellence thrives where meaningful partnerships are nurtured. Through its unwavering support for professional, diplomatic, and national events, this institution has established itself as a valued partner for the promotion of dialogue, engagement, and institutional development. As a premier hospitality institution, it has provided world-class facilities and services that have enabled important national conversations, professional gatherings, and international engagements to flourish. Its commitment to excellence that has brought Ghana's reputation as a destination for global business and diplomacy, as well as thought leadership, to a high point. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, tonight the GJA proudly honors the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Accra, for its institutional award. Shall we do a big round of applause as we welcome the team from Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Accra.
Congratulations to you, Kempinski Hotel. Congratulations, Kempinski Hotel, and thank you so much, Rebecca. It's now time for us to have our second batch of presentation, and this is Dedication and the Valor Award. To help us present the very first one, let's welcome Mr. Rodney Day, and also we'll welcome Dorothy Asoro and Mary Elizabeth Asoro. Let's welcome them, ladies and gentlemen.
And ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way here to the stage, the citation reads, "For many decades, you have exemplified the finest traditions of Ghanaian journalism, professionalism, integrity, courage, and solid dedication to your craft. Your distinguished career, particularly within faith-based journalism, has been marked by a steadfast commitment to truth, ethical reporting, and promotion of national values. As a journalist, editor, and mentor, you have helped to shape public discourse while nurturing generations of media practitioners. Your work has consistently reflected a deep sense of responsibility to society and enduring the belief that journalism is a force for enlightenment, justice, and social progress. Tonight, the Ghana Journalists Association presents this special Dedication and Valor Award to Sir Benedict Batabe Asoro.
And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that Rodney Day, Dorothy Asoro, and Mary Asoro are here to receive on behalf of Sir Benedict. And so let's welcome Musa Ahmed, who is a Judicial Secretary, to help present this award.
Congratulations once again. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, would like to remind all of our friends who are joining us here at the Alisa Hotel Northridge that we're live on GTV, the station of the nation, and the Joy News channel, which is also on channel 421 on DSTV.
Big congratulations to Sir Benedict Batabe Asoro. Thank you so much. To help us present the next award, let's welcome Honorable Osahin Alexander Apenyo Markey. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Dance about the music. Music makes you
I don't know how
Thank you.
Honorable
And now,
does it.
yeah.
I don't know how Honorable does it. We were at a party last night together. Honorable, were you able to sleep? We're enjoying.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the respected legislator and seasoned lawyer and traditional leader will be presenting an award with a citation reading as follows. You distinguished yourself as a pioneering journalist, accomplished media entrepreneur, diplomat, and advocate for excellence. Throughout your remarkable career, you demonstrated that leadership, innovation, and courage can transform institutions and inspire lasting change. As one of Ghana's most accomplished female media leaders, you broke barriers and opened doors for many women seeking careers in journalism and media management. Your contributions to media development, democratic discourse, and public communication has left a lasting and indelible mark on your national life and the lives of Ghanaians. Your subsequent diplomatic service reflected the same principles that have defined your professional journey: integrity, patriotism, and a steadfast commitment to serving and representing Ghana with distinction. This evening, the Ghana Journalists Association duly confers this special honor on Ambassador Gina Ama Blay.
A huge congratulations to you, Ambassador Gina Ama Blay. Congratulations, Ambassador. This is well deserved. Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you. To help us present the next set of awards, welcome the second Deputy Governor for Bank of Ghana, Madame Matilda Asante Asiedu. And she looks ravishing tonight.
Thank you very much.
Sell to millions of people online with Shopify's social media and marketplace integration. You can sell your products directly.
Pursuing her exploits in the financial sector. Congratulations to you, madam. And now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, she presents an award with a citation that reads, "For decades, you remained one of the most respected and influential voices in Ghanaian sports journalism. Through your passion, professionalism, and unparalleled dedication to sports broadcasting, you have elevated sports journalism to national prominence and inspired a whole generation of practitioners. Your insightful commentary, compelling narratives on sports, and commitment to excellence have brought countless sporting moments and life to the audiences across Ghana and beyond. Equally significant have been your contribution to the development of sports journalism
as a respected and vibrant person within the media landscape. As a broadcaster, mentor, and president of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, you have served the profession with distinction, advancing both journalistic standards and professional solidarity. Tonight, the Ghana Journalists Association proudly confers this special Dedication and Valor Award on you, the writer, Kwabena Yaboa.
Olua!
The interesting thing many may not know is that when I was a little boy, I was watching Kwabena Yaboa do his thing strongly on the national broadcaster.
I made my way to school. I was watching him and he kept going strong. I entered journalism. He was still there and going strong. I'm a practicing journalist and he is still there and still going strong. Ladies and gentlemen, what else are we looking for when it comes to consistency and dedication to a job? Shall we celebrate him with another round of applause? And of course, as we build up to the much-awaited FIFA World Cup of 2026, it will be refreshing and amazing to hear seasoned voices like that of Mr. Kwabena Yeboah, the legendary. Shall we do a big round of applause for him?
Congratulations, Mr. Kwabena Yeboah, and thank you so much, Mrs. Matilda Asante Esiedu. So to help us present this award, let's welcome James Ato Linson, who is the CEO for JL Properties, and he'll be supported by Vance Azu.
Of course, Dr. James Ato Linson is also the Chancellor of the Cape Coast Technical University. He will be supported by Mr. Vance Azu, who is a seasoned senior journalist. Shall we welcome him with a big round of applause? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this evening, this award has a citation that reads, "Your distinguished career in journalism reflects an unwavering commitment to professionalism, excellence, and service to the nation. As a former managing editor of the Graphic Communications Group Limited, you provided visionary leadership and strengthened and revitalized one of Ghana's most important media institutions, enhancing its relevance, credibility, and impact. Through your career, you have exemplified the highest standards of journalism, accuracy, fairness, integrity, and an uncompromising commitment to the public interest. Beyond your personal achievements, your mentorship and guidance, you have inspired and shaped the careers of many journalists, leaving a lasting imprint on the profession and contributing significantly to media development in Ghana. For your outstanding dedication, exemplary leadership, and invaluable service to journalism in the nation, the Ghana Journalists Association proudly and respectfully confers on you, Mr. Kofi Bedu, the Dedication and Valor Award." Shall we do a big round of applause for Mr. Kofi Bedu?
Congratulations to you, Mr. Kofi Bedu.
And so Mr. Vance Azu will be receiving this award on behalf of Mr. Kofi Bedu, who is a former managing director of the Graphic Communications Group, where I started my career. Once again, we pay our maximum respects to Mr. Kofi Bedu, and I'm very sure that everybody who's associated with him will share in this moment of glory.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations to Mr. Kofi Bedu. To help us present the next, let's welcome Angela List, who is the CEO and founder of Nguvu Mining Company. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
The award has a citation which reads, "Your commitment to press freedom, freedom of expression, and others have been a defining feature of your public life. At critical moments in Ghana's democratic journey, you stood firmly in defense of journalists facing intimidation, harassment, and championing the rights of citizens to speak freely and participate fully in the national discourse. Through your writings, advocacy, and active involvement in pro-democracy, the free expression movement, and all, your consistency advanced the cause of media freedom and democratic accountability and social justice. For your courage, dedication, and sacrifices in the struggle for press freedom and freedom of expression in Ghana, the Ghana Journalists Association proudly confers on you Dr. Kamel Nasser Adam with the Special Dedication and Valor Award.
And we'll welcome two people to receive on his behalf. Let's welcome Madame Theresa Dede Boating and Mr. Kwesi Pratt. Thank you so much, Madam Angela Liz, and a big congratulations to Dr. Gamel Nasser Adam. The next is going to be presented by Dr. Maxwell Boachi, who is a Council of State member. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen of distinguished measure, good people of Ghana, the next citation reads, as a scholar, linguist, educator, and cultural ambassador, your dedicated service was to preserve and promote Ghanaian languages, culture, and identity. Through your public engagement, you have deepened the appreciation for the role of language in national development and social cohesion. Your contributions to broadcasting, public education, cultural discourse, and all have made complex linguistic and cultural issues accessible to millions of Ghanaians. In doing so, you have helped bridge a gap between academia and society while promoting respect for Ghana's rich linguistic heritage. Your influence extends far beyond the classroom, inspiring a deeper appreciation for indigenous knowledge systems and power of language through the media in shaping national identity. You have played a pivotal role in expanding the linguistic capacity of the Akan language media, helping develop vocabulary and expressions needed to communicate complex ideas with clarity and precision. The Ghana Journalists Association honors you, Professor Kofi Ejekum, with the Special Dedication and Valor Award.
A big congratulations to you, Professor Kofi Ejekum.
I ain't got no limit, yeah, that's right, yeah, I'm limitless. I ain't got no limit, yeah, that's right, yeah, I'm limitless. They can stop me now, yeah, that's right, cause I'm limitless. It's my turn right now, watch me work, yeah, I'm limitless. I ain't got no limit, yeah, that's right, yeah, I'm limitless. I ain't got no limit, yeah, that's right, yeah, I'm
Thank you so much, Dr. Maxwell Boachi. He's a Council of State member, and a big congratulations to Professor Kofi Ejekum. It's now time for us to present this. As we say, you are gone but never forgotten. It's time for the Posthumous Awards. And to help us present this, let's welcome Dr. Chris Boydie Mensah. He is the CEO of NPRA. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause. And he's a very good friend as well.
The CEO of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority will present the next two awards, which are posthumous. We begin with this one that is in honor of Dr. Abubakar Sadiq Ahmed. As a distinguished journalist, academic, and mentor, you dedicated your life to the pursuit of knowledge, professional excellence, and service to society. Through your work in journalism, academia, and public engagement, you made a significant contribution to the growth of media and communication in Ghana. Respected for your intellect, humility, and commitment to nurturing future generations through Radio Universe, you inspired a countless number of students, colleagues, and media practitioners. Your influence continues to resonate through many journalists whose lives you have shaped and the institutions you helped strengthen. Although your passing left a profound void, your legacy remains deeply embedded in Ghana's media and academic landscape, serving as a lasting source of inspiration to all who follow your footsteps. In recognition of your enduring contribution to journalism, education, and national development, the GJA posthumously honors you, Dr. Abubakar Sadiq Ahmed, with the Dedication and Valor Award. Shall we have a representative pick this award? Thank you, Dr. Chris Brady Mensah will remain on the stage. Doc, please do remain with us for the presentation of the next citation, which is also a posthumous award. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the citation reads, at a time when many hesitated to associate with the Ghana Journalists Association, you stood out with courage, conviction, and foresight in support of press freedom and journalism. In 1985, during the GJA's maiden award ceremony and the foundation of today's prestigious GJA Awards, you generously provided the prizes that made a historic event. At a moment of great difficulty the association was facing, your support helped to sustain its mission and laid the groundwork for what has become a landmark in Ghanaian journalism. For your exceptional support for the Ghana Journalists Association and your lasting contribution to journalism and national development, the GJA posthumously honors you, the late Chief of Ewa Dumwase, Nana Kwame Kurang IV, with this special dedication and valor award. Shall we have a representative pick up this award on behalf of his family? Thank you very much.
Nathaniel, I can say that they are here in spirit because they've worked hard to make us see this day. They might be gone, but they are not forgotten, and they are here.
We're very grateful to them. We're grateful to their families for making them available to serve. And today, we perform this very important function and this very important right to ensure that their names continue to stay in our history books. May their souls rest in perfect peace.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Chris Brady Mensah, CEO of NPRA.
And now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, would like to remind all of you that we're live and reaching millions of people through GTV, the station of the nation, and the Joy News channel, which is on 421 on DSTV. And now, at this time, please permit me to welcome here to the stage a seasoned journalist of many years who has also devoted herself to growing many talents and also shaping the face of news and its presentation as well as its packaging for content in different places. Over the years, she dedicated herself to service at the Multimedia Group, where she was in charge of the newsroom and of course led a very big revolution in terms of how news was delivered. And based on this foundation, today the Joy News brand stands tall when it comes to the national discourse and when it comes to major national conversations in thought leadership. Of course, many years after paying her dues to the industry, she transitioned into banking and played key roles between Ghana and Nigeria, where she served at Access Bank. Of course, after distinguishing herself and adding value duly, she was duly appointed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic, to serve as a Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me with a big round of applause as we welcome Mrs. Matilda Asante Esiedu to give us a special address.
A very good evening, everyone. Kindly, in the interest of time, permit me to leverage the existing protocols. It is a great honor to join you tonight as we mark World Press Freedom Day under the auspices of the Ghana Journalists Association. And I bring you warm greetings from the Bank of Ghana and also from the Governor, who is currently out of town and would have loved to be here with us. My presence here tonight evokes a certain nostalgia. As a member of the Inky fraternity, I have attended many of these commemorative days over the years, usually sitting where you are sat now, and normally asking questions and not being the one answering them. So tonight, I find myself in a very interesting position on the policy side of the conversation. And I must say that it's a bit like becoming the subject of one's own editorial. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's global theme, Shaping a Future at Peace, promoting press freedom for human rights, development and security, captures both the power and the responsibility that come with a free press. As the fourth estate, the media has been a very vital pillar of our democracy and instrumental in sustaining Ghana's multi-party constitutional order. And I'm personally proud to have been part of this journey, as you've heard tonight, in the Fourth Republic of this country. However, while Ghana's media landscape remains one of the most vibrant in Africa, it has also not been without challenges, as I'm sure you've heard the GJA president enumerate. Fortunately, there are signs of progress. And according to the world's latest Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, Ghana now ranks 39th out of 180 countries, climbing up from the 52nd position and recording its strongest performance in 5 years. I thought that deserved a round of applause. Thank you. But even as we welcome this progress, we must also confront persistent structural challenges, particularly misinformation and disinformation, the economic sustainability of media institutions, and in some instances, declining public confidence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, misinformation and disinformation are no longer peripheral concerns. As highlighted in the World Economic Forum's Global Risks Report, they remain amongst the worst severe global risks, now ranking second only to the geo-economic confrontations. Now imagine that, media risk being the second only to something like the US-Iran war or the Middle East crisis. This is deeply concerning because, as we all know, credibility is the currency of journalism. And once spent recklessly, it is difficult to regain. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's media landscape is largely privately owned. In such an environment, credibility is not just a professional value, it is an economic asset. It directly influences audience trust, ratings, and ultimately advertising revenue. And yet, across Ghana and globally, audiences are beginning to increasingly question accuracy, objectivity, and political neutrality of the media. In this context, trust has become journalism's most valued asset. Any erosion of that trust creates a double jeopardy, a loss of credibility and a loss of revenue, with the attendant risk of declining influence.
It's me, Azar.
Hey, you do look fresh.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, for greater coverage and colors that last longer. Azar, #1 from Azar Group.
As a bank, it can absorb temporary losses if confidence remains intact. A media organization can withstand financial pressure if public trust is preserved. But when both confidence and trust erode, recovery becomes significantly more difficult. And that is why the role of a free and responsible media is central even to monetary policy. At the Bank of Ghana, our monetary policy decisions are complex, transmitted indirectly, and their effects are not always immediate. Yet, how they are communicated and interpreted shapes expectations, builds confidence and economic behavior across the country. For this reason, we rely heavily on a free and responsible press to help explain our work, anchor expectations, and support national development through our mandate of price and financial stability. At the same time, we are mindful of the risks that misinformation presents in a free information environment. We also recognize that the quality of reporting is closely linked to the depth of understanding of a subject. And as a result, the Bank of Ghana has adopted a deliberate strategy of knowledge sharing, capacity building, and continuous dialogue with the media, aimed at strengthening understanding of monetary and financial policies. This is not only an engagement strategy, we believe it is also a deliberate intervention to reduce misinformation and strengthen informed public discourse in support of national development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in today's fast-moving digital economy, the press is not just a communicator of policy, it is a critical partner in shaping how policy is understood by the public. The Bank of Ghana's core mandate of price stability is inherently complex. It is therefore natural that is not always fully understood. And that is precisely why we rely on the media to help translate policy to public understanding and to anchor expectations. I am aware that the organizers of this event, and as I'm sure you've already seen, have nominated and presented Bank of Ghana as an institution with a recognition tonight. And we deeply honor this recognition, and we congratulate all the other winners. So allow me to briefly highlight some of the initiatives we have taken to strengthen press engagement and promote responsible, well thought through and understood economic journalism. The first is regular media engagements. We have intensified structured training programs for journalists across the country. In addition, the Monetary Policy Committee, led by the governor, holds post-MPC meetings to brief the press and explain the decisions, as well as allow the opportunity to ask questions and get explanations. You would also have noticed that due to enhanced transparency, we publish individual MPC members' submission, an important step towards greater transparency and accountability. We have also formed regional press corps, and these regional press corps are also put in the dedicated WhatsApp communication platforms where we create the opportunity to share information in a two-way communication, allowing us not only to share information, but also to receive feedback and improve the engagement. As I'm sure you would have heard us announce earlier in the year, we've just introduced the Economic and Financial Journalist of the Year Award in partnership with the GJA. This award is intended to promote excellence in economic and financial reporting in supporting national development. Ladies and gentlemen, let me briefly touch on recent developments in the foreign exchange market. Now, Ghana operates a managed floating exchange rate regime. In such a system, daily movements, both depreciation and appreciation, are normal. They reflect market activity and not necessarily crisis conditions. However, when these movements are reported without proper context, they can trigger unnecessary fear and panic, leading to speculative demand for foreign currency and heightened volatility. In such situations, sentiments, not the fundamentals, can temporarily drive market behavior. Let me be clear. Currency stability has real economic consequences. When the cedi stabilizes, import prices become more predictable. Transport costs are moderate. Essential goods and services such as food, rent, and medicine stabilize, and businesses can plan with greater certainty, as well as households get the opportunity to preserve the value of their incomes and savings. Therefore, protecting the value of the currency is not the responsibility of just one institution. It is a shared national responsibility of policymakers, businesses, households, and especially our colleagues and my friends in the media. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as I bring my comments to a close, let me emphasize that across the world, economies have been either strengthened or weakened by the way economic information is communicated. We therefore have a shared responsibility to choose the path that builds trust, strengthens stability, and advances Ghana's development. Let us together strengthen our partnership in service of the national interest. And as we do so, I'd like to leave us with one important point to note. A responsible press informs without inflaming, questions without prejudging, and reports without distorting. I thank you very much for your attention.
We're very grateful to the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Matilda Asante Esiedu, and we're grateful to her and the institution for the continuous support that they give to the Ghana Journalists Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me appreciate her with another round of applause. Delivering our next address is a fine gentleman who has served in legislature, specifically in the 6th, 7th, and 8th parliaments of the 4th Republic of Ghana. A staunch Catholic who is also a fine product of the University of Buckingham, the Ghana School of Law, the Bradford University, and the great St. Augustine's College of Cape Coast. He is a seasoned member of parliament.
Sorry to bother you. I appreciate your time. Quick question.
Just checking in. Wanted to see where we stand on it. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but here's how I understand it.
Paramountcy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a private legal practitioner, he was a success story. And as a servant of the people, he continues to be a very big pillar and a big aspect of the society. He has served in various capacities and committees at the level of Parliament and continues to be a big voice when it comes to the national discourse. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome here to the stage Osahin Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin, the minority leader of the Parliament of Ghana. Shall we do a bigger round of applause for him?
Chair of this important gathering, I think the comedian who came here earlier was not fair to my party at all. All the names he mentioned coincidentally are senior members of my party. So I was wondering why he didn't mention any of those who are in charge of this one job, 3 shifts. And the youth are not seeing anything. By the way, I'm sure the comedian himself was prejudiced. Let me stand on the existing protocol and proceed to address you. It is my distinct honor and high privilege to join you at this important gathering to commemorate this World Press Freedom Day and to celebrate veteran journalists and partners whose sacrifices and dedications have helped shape Ghana's democratic journey. Let me commend the Ghana Journalists Association for this invitation and for its continued role in defending the frontiers of media freedom, professional journalism, and democratic accountability in our country. Indeed, if there's one institution that sits at the very heart of democracy, development, peace, and national cohesion, it is the media. In April 1991, journalists from 38 African countries gathered in Namibia to deliberate on the need for a free, independent, and pluralistic press across the continent. At the end of the 5-day meeting on 3rd May, they produced the Windhoek Declaration, a landmark statement of principles on press freedom. Later that year, UNESCO's General Conference endorsed the declaration. Then in 1993, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 3rd May as World Press Freedom Day. Over the years, the day has evolved into a global platform for raising awareness about the importance of press freedom and the need to protect a free and independent media. In recent times, the day has also been used to engage discussions on emerging issues such as misinformation, digital safety, and the impact of technology on journalism, while drawing attention to the growing challenges faced by journalists, including harassment, censorship, intimidation, and threat to their safety. On this note, let me also commend the Media Foundation for West Africa for utilizing this year's observance to issue a statement advocating against press freedom violations and promoting the protection of journalists and media independence across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, to understand the essence of press freedom and freedom of speech, permit me to refer to the veritable words of Justice William Joseph Brenham, Jr. in the landmark case in the United States of America Supreme Court, New York Times Corporation versus Sullivan, 376 U.S. 254, 1964. In the ruling on press freedom, this is what the learned judge said, quote, "Debate on public issues should be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials." He continues, "Erroneous statement is inevitable in free debate, and it must be protected if the freedoms of expression are to have the breathing space that they need to survive," end quote. It is based on this enduring principle that I anchor my remarks on the theme, shaping a future at peace, promoting press freedom for human rights, development, and security. Now you, the media, as a fourth estate of the realm. Ladies and gentlemen, the concept of the media as a fourth estate of the realm is not a modern invention. It traces its is widely credited with first articulating this notion when he reportedly declared, pointing to the press gallery in the British Parliament, quote, "Yonder sits the fourth estate, and they are more important than them all," end quote. He was right then. He remains right today, perhaps even more so in our era of instant communication, digital media, and the relentless demand for the transparency in governance. The first estate is the executive, vested with the power to govern. The second estate, the legislature, clothed with the power to make laws. The third is the judiciary, entrusted with the power to interpret and adjudicate. But it is the fourth estate, the media, that watches them all. It is the sentinel. It is the sentinel that never sleeps. Our Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, articulates clearly and boldly on the freedom and independence of the media. Article 1621 guarantees the freedom and the independence of the media. Article 1623 firmly protects the establishment and operation of private media without unnecessary state impediment or licensing barriers. In the same spirit, Article 21(1)(a) guarantees every citizen the right to freedom of speech and expression, including freedom of the press and other media. Ladies and gentlemen, let me state unambiguously on this occasion, any attempt to intimidate, harass, arrest, or suppress a journalist for performing their legitimate constitutional duty is an attack not only on that individual, but the Constitution of Ghana itself. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the media as an instrument of peace. The theme for tonight's commemoration situates press freedom within a broader architecture of peace, and rightly so, history teaches us, sometimes through blood and tragedy, what the presence or absence of free media does to a society. We all are aware that in Rwanda, a radio broadcast that broadcasted hatred, called people cockroaches, directed killers to their victims' homes. 800,000 souls perished as a result of that in 100 days. The lesson from Rwanda is seared into the conscience of humanity when the media becomes a weapon of division rather than a bridge of understanding. Nations burn. This is why responsible journalism matters. It is not enough to be first. One must be right. It is not enough to attract attention. One must earn trust. True journalism resists the temptation of exaggeration and rejects the allure of sensationalism. I therefore call on the media to consciously embrace its role as an instrument of peace. Journalists, editors, and broadcasters must understand the weight of their influence and wield it with responsibility. You must choose truth over speed, facts over fear, and context over confusion. As the distinguished American journalist Walter Lippmann intimated in his work, The Liberty and the News, one of the foundational texts on modern journalism and the role of media in society, quote, "There can be no higher law in journalism than to tell the truth and to shame the devil," end quote. Now even as we celebrate tonight, we must be candid about the threats that freedom of speech faces in our time. Just 16 months of this government, 14 arrests have been made in relation to speech and political commentary. At the center of this is weaponization of Section 76 of Electronic Communication Act 2008, Act 775, which deals with publication or transmission of false information. Section 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act, Act 1960, Act 29, which address offensive conduct conducive to breaches of peace and the publication of false news. These laws, enacted to preserve public order and protect the integrity of communication, are now being applied in ways that extend beyond their original intent. I dare submit. One such case is that of David Isando, organizer of the NPP in Aguna West constituency, who reportedly made a statement that, quote, "Dumso is back," end quote, and was picked up by the Bureau of National Investigation officials. Similarly, Baba Amando was also picked in relation to his public statement on his social media handle. These, among other cases, are a pattern in which political speech, particularly from opposition figures, attracted unlawful arrests, detention, and interrogation. This is precisely where the Media Foundation for West Africa's warning becomes critical. When unlawful arrests and detention are seen as a first resort in response to political expression, it creates a chilling effect on democratic participation. The essence of the ruling I quoted supra is clear. Democracy cannot function if opposition fear punishment for expressing political views, especially on matters of public concern, whether in government or in opposition. We must commit to the principle that freedom of expression is sacrosanct. Political prosecutions or the perception of them must have no place in our democratic practice. If democracy is to endure and mature, then freedom of expression must be protected, dissent must be tolerated, and disagreement must never be treated as a crime. I repeat, if democracy is to endure and mature, then freedom of expression must be protected, dissent must be tolerated, and disagreement must never be treated as a crime. Let me be direct one more time. Since the NDC administration assumed in January 2025, we have witnessed a pattern. It is not random. It is not coincidental. It is a pattern, coherent, deliberate, and deeply dangerous. My party officials, my colleagues, and social media commentators, like I have said, have gone through arrests, charged, summoned, and threatened for what they have said on air, online, and in public. The specific charges vary: causing fear and panic, publication of false news, offensive conduct, seditious libel. The offenses differ, but the target is always the same. The target is speech. The target is criticism. The target is the potential opposition's ability. The target is the political opposition's ability to hold this government accountable before the Ghanaian people. I have watched colleagues, men and women exercising their constitutional right to speak, walk into police stations. There are times that I have signed the bail myself. I've watched families spend sleepless nights. I've watched broadcast studios grow quieter. Not because people have nothing to say, but because they are afraid of what happens when they say it. And that is what it is precisely designed to achieve. It is a strategy, I beg to submit. But you do not silence speech by banning it outright. In a constitutional democracy, you cannot do that. The court will strike it down. So instead, you make speech costly. You arrest one person and 10 others watch. You prosecute one journalist and 100 others self-censor. You drag one commentator to court, and the space for free speech and the space for free expression contracts a little more, not by law, but by fear. Scholars of constitutional law call this the chilling effect. It is, in many ways, more insidious than outright censorship. Outright censorship at least announces itself. The chilling effect is invisible. It operates in the mind of the journalist who decides, before writing, whether the story is worth the risk. It operates in the editorial meeting, where a difficult angle is quietly shelved. It operates in the conversation that never happens, because someone, somewhere, has learned that certain conversations carry consequences. That chilling effect is operating in Ghana today, and it is a constitutional violation as surely as if the government had walked into a newsroom and ripped a broadcast off the air. Ghana's criminal statute books still carry provisions that have no place in 21st century constitutional democracy, causing fear and alarm, publication of false news.
I want to apologize to everyone who's already bought this natural healing handbook. Most herb books just throw
Governance from the governed to insulate the powerful from the inconvenient speech of the powerless. They were instruments of colonial control, and we have not yet had the courage to consign them to the museum of our colonial past where they belong. Our own Supreme Court, in the New Patriotic Party versus the Inspector General of Police, affirmed the constitutional right to demonstrate and hold public discourse. The trajectory of the Ghanaian jurisprudence is clear. Criminal law should not be the first resort when words cause offense. In most cases, it should not be a resort at all. I am not here to claim that every person arrested was a saint. I believe in due process. If a person has committed a genuine crime, the law must take its course fully, fairly, and in accordance with the Constitution. That is not what I am contesting. What I am contesting is the consistent, disproportionate, and politically targeted deployment of the machinery of criminal prosecution against political constituency, against people whose only weapon is their voice. That is not law enforcement. That is the weaponization of the criminal law against free expression, and it must be named, resisted, and reversed. Now to the prosecutor. The prosecutor as a censor. Let me address directly the role of the prosecutorial arm of the states. The Attorney General of Ghana holds one of the most powerful offices in this republic. Article 88.3 of the Constitution vests in the Attorney General the sole responsibility for the initiation and conduct of all criminal prosecutions. Article 88.4 goes further to say all offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any person authorized by him. The prosecutorial authority of this state flows from and is accountable to that single constitutional office. That is an enormous power. And enormous power demands extraordinary restraint. The power to prosecute is the power to punish, not merely upon conviction, but from the very moment of arrest. A person charged loses their reputation before a verdict is reached. They lose their time, income, and professional standing. They live under the shadow of courtroom for months, sometimes years. Their family pays the price. Their voice goes quiet. This is why the discretion vested in the Attorney General, particularly in speech-related matters, must be exercised with utmost care, and our Constitution does not leave the discretion ungoverned. Article 296 speaks loudly and directly to the exercise of discretionary power by any person or authority under this Constitution. It provides that such discretion shall imply a duty to be fair and candid. It provides that the exercise of that power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, whether by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with the due process of law. Reading together Article 88 and 296 establish a clear constitutional standard. The decision to prosecute must be fair, candid, and free from political motivation. it is not a standard that is being met. When prosecutorial power is therefore deployed selectively, targeting critics of the ruling party while ignoring equivalent conduct by government supporters, it is not merely unjust, it is unconstitutional. It violates the duty of fairness under Article 296. It is the exercise of a discretion, that is, by an honest assessment, biased by resentment and political dislike. And a government that uses the machinery of prosecution to punish its critics is not a democracy. It is an authoritarian state wearing democratic clothes. The rule of law is not a tool of political convenience. It is the foundation upon which every right we possess rests. The moment it becomes a partisan instrument, that foundation begins to crumble, and the right that stands upon it crumble with it. I therefore, in all humility, call on the Attorney General to discharge the functions of that office in the spirit of Article 88 and 296, and together demand fairly, candidly, and without prejudice. I call on the Director of Public Prosecutions to ensure that the decisions to prosecute in speech-related cases are subject to rigorous, independent review. And I call on the judiciary to remain what our Constitution demands, a bastion of independence, not an instrument of executive vengeance. I would like to conclude by congratulating all those who have won awards today. You have been our vanguard, our veteran journalists. Your years of sacrifice have earned you a great name. It has saved this republic. God bless all journalists and all media practitioners of our republic. God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
We're grateful to the Honorable Minority Leader in Parliament, Osahin Honorable Alexander Apenyo Markin. Shall we do one more big round of applause for him? It's now my pleasure to welcome here to the stage a fine product of Wesley Girls High School in Cape Coast, who also traces part of her educational roots to the University of Pretoria and the University of Ghana, Legon. She is a seasoned lawyer and advocate for human rights, and prior to her getting into mainstream politics, she performed very creditably in that space. She previously served this nation as Minister for Gender, Children, and Social Protection between 2013 and 2017 under the first administration of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Upon getting the nod by Ghanaians to serve them once again as their president, His Excellency decided to place her there as a Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Nana Oye Bampo Addo.
It's Wesley Girls Green. Good evening. I begin tonight by standing on existing protocol. And also, there are words that deserve to be recalled. One of our own, Professor Kwame Karikari, one of Ghana's foremost press freedom scholars and advocates. Professor Karikari delivered a lecture called Press Freedom and Responsibility, the Problems of Professionalism in Ghanaian Journalism at the commemoration of the World Press Day in Accra in May 2025. And this is what he said: that the media's fundamental role in a democracy is to serve as a mirror of society, providing citizens with accurate and balanced information to guide informed political choices. He warned that when media institutions abandon that responsibility, they weaken democratic processes. Let me emphasize that the NDC government, led by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, deeply respects and adheres to human rights principles as articulated in our Constitution of the Fourth Republic. The NDC government is indeed a bastion of independence, a deep respecter of the rule of law and also of human rights principles. There is a single passage that captures in essence what the Ghanaian press and its institutions have done for this country across more than 3 decades of this Fourth Republic. The pen and the microphone of journalists have been present in every single chapter of our national life. You journalists have reported on disease outbreaks and held health authorities to account. You have exposed the state of our schools and amplified the cry for better education. You have covered our courts and kept justice visible. You have told stories of our communities swallowed up by floods, of land stripped bare, and of rivers that have been poisoned. You have upheld our family values and given voice to those who do not have a voice. Health, education, environment, justice, civic education, democratic accountability. In every single one of these spaces, you, the Ghanaian press, have showed up. More significantly, the Ghana Journalists Association has indeed provided leadership, solidarity, and protection for journalists on the front lines. It has sustained the momentum of press freedom advocacy in the Fourth Republic when that advocacy was neither safe nor convenient. So tonight, we use this opportunity and this platform to commend very highly the Ghana Journalists Association, not only for this honor night, but for the long, consistent work of keeping Ghana's press free and its journalists standing. We admit that this journey of press freedom has not been without costs. Journalists in Ghana have faced threats, physical attacks, and sometimes paid with their lives. These acts are regrettable and commendable. No society that claims to be a democratic society can look away when journalists are harmed. However, we are encouraged that under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have seen high, remarkable progress in the protection of press freedom. Speaker after speaker here has referred to the 2026 World Press Freedom Index. We have climbed up 39th position from 52nd. We've climbed up 13 spaces up, and we are 4th in Africa with a high score of 72.0%, the strongest over the past 5 years and a sure improvement. Ghana ranks among the top tier of press freedom performers on the continent. We are in the category with South Africa, Namibia, and Seychelles. We acknowledge the caution of the Media Research Institute that this progress must be sustained and deepened, and the NDC government commits to sustaining and deepening press freedom in Ghana. Get that assurance and promise, because Ghana is moving forward. We are honoring our press champions, our chief architects, our press diplomats, activists, and legends of press freedom in Ghana. We say Ayiko to them all. All the personalities, whether alive or have departed, have in one way or the other contributed to where we stand today. A resilient, enduring democracy built in no small part by the power of the pen and the microphone and the integrity of the microphone. Distinguished guests, the global theme, Shaping a Future at Peace, Promoting Press Freedom for Human Rights, Development and Security, could not be more timely. The world is unstable, geopolitical certainties are shifting, democratic values are under pressure in ways that would have been difficult to have imagined a decade ago. As we recognize the patriotic work of these giants, we are reminded of the urgent need to recommit to the professional and patriotic principles of journalism. The revolution is a watershed moment. The message is made even more critical by artificial intelligence and ICT revolution that now shapes how content is created and how advocacy is conducted. It has expanded access to information and amplified voices that were previously marginalized, but at the same time, it has introduced threats that are serious and real. Through AI, voices are cloned, human likeness are fabricated, individuals are placed in contexts they never inhabited. We've spoken about disinformation and misinformation. The press, more than ever, is the first and most important line of defense. So a trained, ethical, independent press that verifies before it publishes is the only credible answer to the chaos that unverified information creates. President John Dramani Mahama put it very plainly on 31st July 2025 during the swearing-in of deputy ministers at the Jubilee House, and I quote, "A free and responsible press is indispensable to our democracy, and we must all work hard to protect the media." The President's and the government's commitment is firmly grounded in Chapter 7, Article 162 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, which declares freedom and independence of the media. On behalf of the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, and on behalf of the President of the Republic of Ghana, I congratulate the Ghana Journalists Association on this well-deserved celebration. We congratulate each and every honoree. To the living, keep going. To those honored posthumously, may their memory be a standard that their successors are proud to uphold. Long live Ghana, long live our press champions, both departed and living. Long live press freedom in our dear country, Ghana. Thank you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
We're grateful to the Honorable Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, and that takes us to the next set of awards, which will take us closer and closer to the finish line. At this time, would like to invite here on the stage the president of the Ghana Journalists Association as we present a special recognition award.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Albert Jumfo. Mr. Jumfo is here to help us present the award for special recognition. And this award goes to Honorable James Gunu. He is the Volta Regional Minister. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause. He deserves it. He's transformed the Volta region, and he's done what no man can do. Congratulations, sir.
The citation reads, strong media institutions are built not only by journalists, but also by leaders who understand the vital role of free, professional, and well-resourced press in democratic development. Throughout your career as a journalist, media advocate, and public servant, you have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the advancement of the cause of journalism and strengthening of institutions that support it. Support for professional growth, capacity building, and initiatives aimed at enhancing the welfare and effectiveness of journalists. Recognizing the importance of creating sustainable spaces for journalistic practice and engagement, you played a significant role in supporting the Volta Regional Press Center project, helping provide a lasting institutional home for journalists and media practitioners within the region. The GJA proudly honors you, Honorable James Gunu, with this special recognition award, with this citation on this special World Press Freedom Day Honors Night. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir. Very well deserved. Thank you so much, Mr. Albert Jumfo. To help us present the next set of awards, let's welcome the Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oye Pampo Ado, with a huge round of applause.
The citation reads, you stand among Africa's most distinguished scholars and advocates of media development. Over an illustrious career spanning academia, policy formulation, media development, and public service, you have consistently championed the transformative power of communication in advancing democracy, development, and social inclusion. As a scholar, educator, and institutional leader, you have shaped the generations of journalists, communication professionals, and researchers, while contributing significantly to discourse on media, governance, and development. The GJA proudly honors you, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, with the Media Development Award for your exceptional contribution to media scholarship, development, and institutional transformation, with this citation.
Congratulations, Professor Amin Al-Hassan.
Congratulations to you once again, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, who is the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much, Nana Oye Bampo Ado, Deputy Chief of Staff. To help us present the next award, let's welcome Seram Nuchuga. He is the Group Head and PR and Corporate Affairs of KGL Group.
He will be presenting an award and a citation which reads, "You have devoted your professional life to promoting excellence, accountability, and sound governance across both the public and private sectors. Through your distinguished service in academia, public administration, and corporate leadership, you have consistently advanced transparency, ethical conduct, and you have consistently had a knack for institutional efficiency. As chairman of the Graphic Communications Group Limited Board, you spearheaded key financial and corporate governance reforms that strengthened the organization's sustainability and viability. You also promoted innovation, and this affected the management within and safeguarded editorial independence and ensured that journalists were given the freedom to work without undue interference in line with constitutional provisions. The GJA proudly honors you, Professor oneghanatv, with this special Media Development Award on this special occasion. Shall we do a big round of applause?
Congratulations, Professor oneghanatv.
This award will be picked up on his behalf, and we say once again a very big congratulations to Professor oneghanatv.
Congratulations once again, and thank you very much, Sarah. To help us present the next set of awards is my boss and the giver president, Abdullahi Awudu. Let's welcome him with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful round of applause.
The president of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association will be presenting an award with a citation that reads, "As a distinguished statesman, communicator, and strategist, you played a defining role in shaping Ghana's media development, communication policy, and advancement of media freedom and pluralism. Throughout your public service, including your tenure as Information Secretary and Minister under both military and civilian administrations, you demonstrated a strong commitment to strengthening journalism and promoting excellence in the media. You were instrumental in reintroducing the Ghana Journalist Association's awards, helping revive a culture of recognition and motivation for journalistic excellence. You are also remembered for your firm stance on the constitutional right for free expression during early media expansion efforts, a moment that helped shape Ghana's evolving broadcasting landscape. Today, the Ghana Journalist Association respectfully and proudly honors you, Mr. Kofi Totobi Kwache, with the Media Development Award.
And this will be received by Nana Kofi Kwache. He is the son of Mr. Kofi Totobi Kwache.
Mr. Kofi Totobi Kwache also serves as the board chairman of Ghana Gas. We're grateful and we're proud of him for this achievement, and we salute him on this very special occasion.
Congratulations and thank you very much, Mr. Abdullahi Awudu. To help us present the next set of awards, let's welcome Dr. Charity Binka. She's the chairperson, and she's coming here. Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause as she helps us to present this award.
Ladies and gentlemen of distinguished measure, this award will be accompanied by a citation which reads, "Your remarkable journey in broadcasting represents a powerful story of leadership, innovation, and excellence. As one of Ghana's most accomplished female media executives, you have helped shape modern broadcasting through your visionary management, strategic innovation, and an unwavering commitment to quality programming. Under your leadership, Media General has expanded its reach, strengthened its audience engagement, and created platforms that inform, educate, and entertain millions of Ghanaians. Your success has also inspired countless women pursuing leadership roles in media and corporate management. Tonight, the Ghana Journalist Association salutes you symbolically with this special award for the Beatrice Ajiman in the Media Development Award category. Shall we do a big round of applause as we congratulate the MD of Media General, Madam Beatrice Ajiman, and this will be received on her behalf.
A big congratulations to Madam Beatrice Ajiman. Congratulations to her, and thank you very much, Dr. Charity Benga. For the next award, we will welcome Kobe Asma to help us present the award. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Kobe Asma is a member of the National Media Commission. We will, all right, so would have to announce that later on. Also, respectfully, we would like to bring back on the stage Mr. Abdullahi Awudu, the president of GIBA, to help us with the presentation of this award. We're grateful. And this citation reads, few media executives have reshaped Ghana's broadcasting landscape as profoundly as you have. Through visionary leadership, innovation, and strategic direction, you have helped build one of the most influential and enduring media landscapes and land brands in Ghana, beg your pardon. Your commitment to excellence and the redefining of television is one that is hugely appreciated. Your achievements stand as a compelling testament to the impact of visionary leadership, discipline, and creativity in media industry. Tonight, the Ghana Journalists Association honors you, Father Dixon Na, with the Special Media Development Award for your transformative contribution to broadcasting here in Ghana. Shall we do a big round of applause as we congratulate Father Dixon Na?
A big congratulations to you, Father Dixon Na. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullahi Awudu, and congratulations to you, Father Dixon Na. To help us present the next award, let's welcome David Tamaklo. He is the president for Pring Park. Let's welcome him with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
And the citation for this award reads, a pioneering figure in Ghana's media landscape, your creative genius has helped shape the evolution of television production and storytelling in Ghana. Through a career distinguished by innovation, professionalism, and artistic excellence, you have set standards and continue to influence generations of media practitioners. As a creative visionary, media leader, you have also demonstrated the power of storytelling to educate, inspire, and preserve the national identity. Your work is enriched by Ghana's cultural landscape while contributing significantly to the growth of local content, production, and advancement of creative media industry. Your enduring legacy lies not only in the programs that you have created, but also in the countless professionals inspired by your example. For your extraordinary contribution to television and radio production, creative storytelling, media development, media management, and leadership, the GJA proudly honors you, Mr. Ken Ansah, with the Media Development Award. Shall we do a big round of applause as we congratulate Mr. Ken Ansah, the Chief Operating Officer of the Multimedia Group, and this award will be received on his behalf by the Channel Manager of Joy News, Mr. Kweku Owusu Pepra.
A big congratulations to Mr. Ken Ansah. Congratulations, Mr. Kenan, sir, and thank you very much, David Tamaklo.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this evening as we roll closer and closer to the finish line of what has been a beautiful night of conversations and also honoring, it's my pleasure to welcome here to the stage a fine public servant who has dedicated the youthful element of his story to the dedication of growth of the people of not only his constituency but also of this nation. He is a person who has devoted himself for the truth and also for media freedom. Over the period, we have seen him advocate and also use his professional expertise in IT engineering to help young people, not only as in his constituency, but also in other institutions of learning that are generating many numbers of young professionals to fill different spaces in different parts of our economy in this country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he currently serves the people of the Ningo Prampram constituency as their member of parliament, and this he has done for a number of terms. It's my pleasure now to welcome here to the stage the Honorable Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, who is representing His Excellency the President of the Republic, Honorable Sam Nate George.
Thank you very much. I dare say good morning, because it's almost midnight. I'll stand on existing protocols and say it's with a deep sense of honor and profound humility that I stand here before this distinguished gathering. I bring you the warmest greetings of President John Dramani Mahama, who is currently in Minsk, Belarus. He is a man who has always believed with conviction that a nation's press is the heartbeat of its democracy. He regrets that he cannot be here in person tonight to celebrate these media titans alongside all of us in the room. But I assure you of this: his convictions, his unshakable commitment to a free and independent press, and his immense respect for the Fourth Estate are fully present in this room with all of us here. You have chosen an evening of commemoration, reflection, and celebration, and that is precisely the kind of occasion that reminds us why the work of the press matters so deeply to the soul of our democracy. This year's global theme, Shaping a Future at Peace, Promoting Peace, Press Freedoms for Human Rights, Development and Security, could not be more timely, resonant, or relevant to our Ghanaian experience. It's a call to action. Its reach extends beyond any newsroom. It reaches into our communities, our courts, our corridors of power, and our collective conscience. We live in an era of rapid and often unsettling transformation. The digital revolution has fundamentally altered how information is produced and consumed. At times, it is also weaponized. Yet, within these challenges lies an extraordinary opportunity. The journalism of tomorrow, rooted in truth, driven by ethics, and fortified by technology, can become one of the most powerful instruments we possess for building peaceful, inclusive, and resilient societies. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be unequivocal. A free press is not a privilege, it is a pillar. It is foundational to governance, to human rights, and to the sustainable development we aspire to for Ghana and for Africa. The President believes in a free press. The government of Ghana under President John Dramani Mahama remains firmly and irreversibly committed to the principles of media freedom and freedoms of expression. This is not rhetoric, this is a record. President Mahama has been tested and scrutinized. He has been criticized, sometimes harshly, and sometimes even unfairly. He has always chosen to respond, not with intimidation, and not with harassment, and not with the heavy hand of the state. Instead, he responds with the quiet confidence of a leader who knows that criticism is the price of democratic leadership. A government that fears scrutiny is a government that has reasons to hide. We are not such a government. I am proud to stand before you tonight and make this declaration. Under President John Dramani Mahama's tenure, not a single journalist in Ghana has been killed for doing their job. One journalist has been forced to flee this country out of fear. This are reminders of a not too distant past. Not one media house has been shuttered for daring to speak inconvenient truths to power. This, again, a remnant of our not too distant past. This is not a small thing. In a continent and a world where journalists face imprisonment, violence, and death, Ghana stands as a proof it is possible to govern without governing the press. His Excellency the President does not merely tolerate media scrutiny, he actually welcomes it. He understands that robust, fearless journalism is not an obstacle to development. It is actually an instrument of development. When journalists ask the hard questions, they drive accountability. When they challenge public officials, they raise standards. And when they investigate corruption, they protect the public purse from being stolen. Under this administration, journalists have every right to pursue the truth wherever it leads. The state will not stand in your way. Tonight, as we celebrate something that belongs not just to the government, but to the entire Ghanaian media community, our remarkable and sustained improvement in global press freedom rankings deserves recognition. Ghana's rise in the Reporters Without Borders World Press Freedom Index to 39th out of 180 countries, up from 52nd last year and 62nd in 2023, is a testament to the culture of openness that our media had over the decades. This administration is determined to protect and deepen it. And to put our position in context, the United States of America, the home of democracy, placed 64th, 25 places behind Ghana. And I think that that deserves a round of applause. We rank among the very best in Africa and hold a position recognized among respected media environments in the developing world. This achievement highlights Ghana's story, a story made possible by journalists, editors, proprietors, civil society, and a government that is willing to accept that a free press is the surest guarantor of a free people. Let us not take this standing for granted. Let us build on it. As Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, I am especially conscious of the critical intersection between digital infrastructure and press freedom. The internet is today's printing press. Just as freedom of the press was hard-won through centuries of sacrifice, digital freedom must be actively protected, and our investments in broadband infrastructure and digital literacy are not merely economic decisions, they are democratic ones, because a connected citizenry with access to quality information is the foundation of a well-functioning democracy. We remain committed to building the bridges between government and the media fraternity, not walls. Constructive engagements, regular press briefings, and transparent communications are not concessions. They are obligations of a democratic government, and this administration takes them seriously. And Mr. President, GJ President, that's why in the slew of legislations that we're working on, take for example the Electronic Communications Act that you spoke about that we are amending, Section 78, which deals with criminalizing communication, is being taken out under the new revised Electronic Communication Act. That is work that we are doing. When it comes to the Information Integrity and Digital Communications Law, we have, which used to be called the Misinformation and Disinformation Bill, we've worked extensively with stakeholders like GIBA, stakeholders like the National Media Commission. We've been open and had stakeholder engagements. And I urge you, Mr. President, to take opportunity, last November in Kumasi, President Mahama himself urged you to bring in your memo. You've not brought your memo in yet. It's been over 6 months. We're waiting for you. Bring it, the ministry will work with it. So wake up to your responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, even as I affirm the government's deep and genuine commitment to media freedoms, I must speak with equal frankness tonight on a matter of vital national importance, the responsibility that accompanies the freedom that is real. No right exists in isolation. Press freedom is most powerful and noble when exercised with integrity. And I've been having a chat with Madam Chairperson about integrity. In the age of social media and algorithmic amplification, the line between journalism and misinformation has never been thinner. Stakes have never been higher. A false report can ignite communal tensions, just as we saw a compromising of the minority leader's social media account to put out information that he says did not come from him. Fabricated statistics can undermine public health campaigns. Deliberate disinformation can compromise national security and erode the very democratic institutions that give journalists their freedom to operate. That damage a lie can do to a reputation, a community, or a nation, or even a minority leader is often incalculable and sometimes irreversible. Honest with ourselves. Not everything published or broadcast in Ghana today is journalism. Some of what circulates on our airwaves and digital platforms is deliberate falsehood, designed to inflame rather than to inform, to create fear where there should be calm, division where there should be dialogue, and panic where there should be measured analysis. That is not journalism, but a threat to the public good. The state has the right and responsibility to address it. And it is oblivious to your political, religious, or ethnic coloration. So you may be a party national or regional executive. You have a responsibility to ethical journalism. Lines between journalism and propaganda are blurred. Content is sometimes weaponized to incite violence or spread dangerous falsehood. It can deliberately destabilize communities. The state cannot remain passive. Press freedom does not mean freedom from accountability. It does not shield those who masquerade as journalists to advance agenda of distraction. The regulatory and legal framework in this country are not instruments of censorship. They are instruments of order. A responsible government must enforce them proportionately and transparently when the national interest demands it. I therefore urge the Ghana Journalists Association and all media institutions to lead from the front on this issue. Continue investing in fact-checking capacity, editorial standards, and the professional development of our younger journalists. Hold your members to the code of ethics that define your profession. The credibility of Ghanaian journalism, the credibility that earns this country its enviable press freedom ranking, was not built on rumor or sensationalism. It was built on truth, and it must be defended with truth. An economically independent press is a free press. We know many journalists in Ghana today work under conditions of precarity, making them vulnerable to commercial and political capture. The GJ.
Welcome to QNet's world of new beginnings, where every sunrise is a promise of our commitment to you, your health, your dreams, your planet, and your community.
It's awake to the fact that we have a stake in this, and we are committed to policies that support a sustainable and independent media ecosystem. As we honor those who have built this tradition, tonight we pay a tribute to women and men who gave the best years of their lives to the noble pursuit of truth. Our veteran journalists did not merely report Ghana's story, they shaped it in newsrooms, on airwaves, on television screens, and in the columns of our newspapers. They chronicled the milestones of our national journey, our triumphs, our tragedies, our moments of courage, and our moments of reckoning with failure were carefully recorded. Many of them worked in conditions that would have broken lesser spirits, low pay, inadequate equipment, political hostility, and physical danger, yet they persevered. They believed in something greater than themselves, the power of an informed society. Their bylines were their commitment. Their broadcast were their bonds with the Ghanaian public. Tonight, Ghana says thank you. The nation honors you. History will remember you. We, who stand on the foundations you laid, dedicate ourselves to continuing your work with the same passion, the same rigor, and the same love for this country. In conclusion, as we mark this year's World Press Freedom Day, let us rededicate ourselves to the proposition that peace is not merely the absence of conflict. Peace is the presence of justice, but justice requires truth, and truth requires courageous journalists who will ask the difficult questions, challenge the convenient narratives, and stand firm in the face of pressure. It requires media institutions committed to independence and excellence. It requires a government that is willing to accept scrutiny as a condition of its legitimacy, and this government does so. And it requires citizens, including a minority, who value credible information as an instrument of their own empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana has always been a beacon of democratic promise in West Africa and across the African continent. Let our media freedom be a beacon too. It accelerates our development, strengthens our human rights, and secures our national future. Let us not allow that light be dimmed either by those who seek to suppress it or by those who will misuse it. To the Ghana Journalists Association, thank you for your steadfast advocacy. To our partners and development organizations, thank you for your continued support. To every journalist in this room and across the country listening to us by the power of technology, whether newly licensed or long retired, or in between there like cements, thank you for your service to Ghana. Long live the free press and long live Ghana. God bless you all.
We're grateful to the Honorable Sam Nate George, who represented the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And that brings us to the final set of awards, which focus on promotion of press freedom.
And with that, we want to call on Samuel Atta, and he is Samuel Atta Mens. He is the MD of Omni Media and also City FM and Channel 1 TV. He's coming here to help us present the award, the very first one, which is the posthumous award.
Mr. Samuel Atta Mensah is the Managing Director of Omni Media, which has City FM and Channel 1 Television, aka Samens. That's the man. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we read the citation, which reads, "Some champions wield the pen, others command the courtroom, and you did both in the service of freedom. At the defining moment in Ghana's democracy, you stood as a courageous judicial voice for liberty, constitutional governance, and more. At a time when criminal libel laws cast a long shadow over media freedom, you lent the weight, judicial voice to the campaign for reform, urging journalists and press freedom advocates to pursue legislative change and helping to inspire the movement that culminated in the historic repeal of Ghana's criminal libel and seditious laws in 2001. As a jurist of rare intellect and integrity, you stood for democracy, which flourishes when citizens can speak freely. Journalists can report fearlessly, and the law protects rather than restrains expressions. The GJA posthumously honors you, Justice Kwame Afre, with this special award for the promotion of press freedom. Shall we do a big round of applause as we welcome a representative to pick the this award on his behalf. Hey.
And this will be picked up by Mr. Musa Ahmed, who is with the Judicial Service, and he is the Judicial Secretary.
With this, we honor the memory of the late Justice Kwame Afre.
Thank you so much, Samens, for doing this for us. To help us present the next award, we'll welcome the CEO or the Deputy CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority. Let's welcome the one and only, my brother, Abeku Santana.
All right, and instead, respectfully, would like to have Mr. Samuel Atamensa return to the stage to help us with the presentation of this award. Respectfully, thank you very much. The citation reads, few individuals have left as profound and lasting a memory in Ghana's media landscape as you have done. For decades, you stood as the intersection of journalism and public communication, bridging distinction, integrity, and intellectual depth to every role that you have occupied. Throughout your illustrious career, you have been a steadfast advocate for media independence, professional excellence, and responsible journalism. As a journalist, editor, media executive, and public servant, you have also consistently championed the principles of free expression and the public's right to information. Your leadership and counsel have helped shape institutions, strengthen professional standards, and also reinforce the media's role in Ghana's democratic journey. At a time when press freedom remains indispensable to good governance and accountability, your contributions continue to inspire journalists and media practitioners across generations. In recognition of your distinguished service and enduring commitment to press freedom and democratic values in Ghana, the GJA proudly honors you, Alhaji Abdul Rahman Haruna Atta, with the Promotion of Press Freedom Award.
Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Shall we have a representative pick up the award on his behalf?
And this goes to Alhaji Abdul Rahman.
You could literally start your own business right now with Shopify. It blows my mind. With Shopify, it's easy.
Thank you once again, Samens, for this. We're grateful. Thank you. And congratulations to Alhaji Abdul Rahman Haruna Atta for this. The time has come, Nathaniel.
Definitely. And at this time, we'd like to respectfully welcome here onto the stage the representative of His Excellency, the President, Honorable Sam Nate George, ably supported by the President of the Ghana Journalists Association.
And they are here to present the very final award, and this is the grant of the grant.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Sam Nate George, who represents His Excellency the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, will present an award with a citation that reads, "Courage, integrity, and an unwavering pursuit of truth have become the defining hallmarks of your remarkable career in journalism and law. Through investigative reporting and legal journalism, you have advanced transparency, accountability, and justice, highlighting the key national issues, challenging impunity, and empowering citizens to participate meaningfully in governance. Beyond the newsroom and the courtroom, you have emerged as one of the most dependable defenders of press freedom in contemporary Ghana. Whenever journalists face harassment, intimidation, unlawful arrest, or threats arising from their work, you repeatedly lent your voice, expertise, and legal support to their defense. For many within the media fraternity, you have become a trusted champion in moments of vulnerability and a steadfast guardian to their constitutional rights. The GJA celebrates you, a distinguished journalist, lawyer, and advocate whose work embodies the highest ideals of public service and has made a profound contribution to press freedom and democratic accountability in Ghana. In recognition of your outstanding service, the GJA proudly honors you, Samson Ladi Anyanene, with the promotion of Press Freedom with this citation on this day of June 6, 2026 at the World Press Freedom Day Honors Night. Congratulations to you, lawyer Samson Ladi Anyanene, who's host of Newsfile on Joy News and also the law on Joy News. Shall we do a bigger round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen?
A big congratulations to you, lawyer Samson Ladi Anyanene. Yes,
and at this time, lawyer Samson Ladi Anyanene will respond on behalf of all of the honorees.
So I was approached to get ready to do this, and I tried to put together a 2-minute comment to make. I'd like to begin by saying thank you so very much, Mr. Kofi Usu, Keo, and Matilda Asante. Both of you are right here in this room. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to say thank you to these individuals. Because 23 years ago, when I left the University of Ghana and walked into the newsroom, they have been the ones who shaped my journey. Now let me go to the brief remarks that I put down. Whenever I stand before judges representing and defending journalists and media houses, I never fail to urge upon them a profound truth penned by the Council of Europe. I read, "Too many nations around the world know that, like democracy, freedom of the media and freedom of speech do not come naturally and cannot be taken for granted. They must be constantly justified, constantly reaffirmed, and constantly strengthened. In Ghana, this is not just a moral preference. It is a constitutional command. Article 162, Clause 5 of the 1992 Constitution places an onerous, non-negotiable duty on the media to uphold the fundamental objectives of the Constitution and ensure the accountability of state actors to the people. Yet, fulfilling this duty often comes at a grave personal cost. However much any one of you might disagree with our reporting or factual comments, opinions, it should never cross into malice or persecution. I remember vividly crude insults hurled at me on national television where this noble profession was mocked. and I was cynically offered a better paying job, polishing shoes. When I commented that the speaker was completely unfit for Ghana as president, threats to my life flowed, to the extent that national security had to provide protection for my family. It should never have to be this way. We do not claim immunity from accountability. We cannot stop anyone from suing us if we defame you. Indeed, our GJA President Albert Jumfor just gave a speech. I was privileged to know the content of the speech. And he had a list of 15 defamation suits against journalists and media houses. 13 of these suits, I am the one prosecuting them on behalf of journalists and media houses. We respect the rule of law. But I know that, like my fellow honorees, we do not do this work for praise. We do it passionately because duty calls. On behalf of my fellow honorees, I express our deepest gratitude to the GJA for this recognition, and I ask that all of us should leave here tonight resolved to make conscious collective efforts to constantly justify, constantly
how to articulate thoughts into words more clearly. By training communication the same way you'd train any other skill. Yeah. 28 days of communication exercises and your thoughts will organize themselves before you speak. How long until I actually see results? On day 3, you'll know how to practice communication in the most effective way. On day 7, you'll sound more eloquent and confident. On day 14, you'll be the best speaker in any room.
Most people think communication is just chit-chat, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful skills you can master. The way you speak reveals how you think, how confident you are, and how other people perceive you. Once you understand how to train it, you can strengthen your presence, express yourself clearly,
and of course, the table that has Honorable James Gunu, respectfully, please join us here on the stage. And now can we have all awardees join us here on the stage, together with the President of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, for a memorable photograph. Thank you.
We need all awardees on stage. Please come on stage with your awards, and also those who represented and received on behalf of the awardees. Please come on stage. Want to have a picture time. All awardees and those who received on behalf of the awardees, please come on stage for us to have a picture time. If you have an award in your hand, please come on the stage now. Please. Kindly bring your awards on stage.
All will be happy and gay. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay. You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong.
A big congratulations to all who have been honored this evening. You deserve it. A big thank you to all our sponsors. We are super grateful, and our partners as well. Thank you to the organizers for honoring all these persons this evening. They all deserve it. A big thank you to all of you that made it this evening. We are super grateful that you make time. And of course, your host is us, myself, and the one and only Nathaniel Atto. My name is Zionfelix. But before we go, we'll have our chairperson give her remarks, Madame Charity Baker.
Hello, hello. Please, can we be seated for the... SNG Electricals Limited. Eniema Papenie. And Kania Papa Netra Huesiano. SNG Electricals Limited. Ahankwa. Ena and Kania Papa. Cable Sahodo. Eniema Ebabwa Ufie no anaso hotel no. Ubenya bi ato. Entisa wusu Ufie no. A free ashasia. Ebe ye. En kania hunsem nyina ne kwan akania befa so abefie ho na ofie ho ayefe no eye SNG Company Limited na mekanfo e de amawo pacho enei cables ahodo pinti enkofo ase omaja pade awie no na ja tomahye no SNG adwene ho yakofa cables papa ne ahodo efri US Europe na afi local ones enso ewa ha eno nti efri wo dan no ahyase ekosi so be wiasiesie fie na bontene ene ne dem ekosi canes ehon kanea ne ho cables papa switches papa de pacho wo pa eye SNG Electricals Limited. Wow, eba cables ye what tropicals and afi cable metals different kinds different types ye wo pe bia de hia ne se wo beba ha main switches enso ewa ha SNG ankasa ewo SNG sockets SNG switches SNG lights na ye papa se makano na sanso na etie afa yemra fie wai o de cables ahodo ni nyina atwenka ne papa ne de abefie ho beda na fie wai fe na ye kama efi hall ho wo pe hall lights papa nkane ade siesie hall ema obi wura dem ho an yem hye ne ka se wawura baabi hotel na se he pacho benya bi ewa ha ye wo kana lights ahodo bedroom lights ahodo bedside lights ni nyina ebi ewa ha kire se eba nkane a bra ha ye wo lights ahodo a ebo dem ho no na fan esan so ka ho a kire se auto light no a wato fan eniema ahodo a wa ha mintimi mubo ni nyina seba enkane a ho nsem so obetwe kane a ba ofie wa wunya problem benya cables papa na wanya nkane a papa enko kache fire enko fire jasihye bia mrawo eye SNG Electricals Limited achrem hima de mabehu die mekoso akamfo ama se eba electricals efri wodan na hyase se ubewie anya nkane papa air conditions papa ne ma papa ede asiesie mu dia eye SNG Electricals Limited me pacho ubehu yen ewo Kumasi dote Bola Junction ye ben Akati Farms me pacho freyen ewo 0242 220050 and 020 3392 333 SNG Electricals Limited, quality assured.